I wish I'd studied Spanish instead of Latin, which was less than useful. I agree, people should be studying Spanish or any other living spoken language instead of Latin. Probably the biggest reason I hear people saying you should study Latin in high school or even middle school is because it helps you understand the origin of words. Even though English isn't descended from Latin, obviously we have a lot of influence from it. So studying Latin, you can learn a lot of words, word roots, and affixes that come from Latin. And it would also help you with learning a lot of other languages, especially Romance languages. But you can get those same benefits from just studying modern Latin. That is, the Romance languages, studying Spanish, French, Italian. You can still learn about all those word roots and prefixes and suffixes. And you can actually speak it with people. It's actually useful for a job, for communicating, for traveling, for living. There's no country, no place on earth where you need Latin to get by. Maybe if you're like a cardinal in the Vatican, but even then it's just for like procedural stuff, for ceremonial stuff. You don't use it for a casual conversation. But what you do need to get by in certain places, Italian, Spanish, French, dozens of other Romance languages, or any of the other real living languages. And even though English has a lot of influence from it, it is not a Latin language. It is still very much a Germanic language. To better understand the phonetics, the grammar, the history of English, you need to look back into English's past. Study Old English, study West Germanic, Proto-Germanic. Sure, we get a lot of words, but not a lot of structure from Latin. I'm not going to say it's totally useless to study Latin, especially if you're going to study something like European history. Obviously, Latin is a very important part of that. And reading actual original texts from thousands of years ago is really cool and can provide insight that reading a translation can't necessarily do. And studying anything you're interested in provides a lot of benefits just mentally and psychologically for yourself. But for the average person, especially in like primary and secondary education, just learn a modern spoken language. It'll provide them so many more benefits that are real and applicable to almost any walk of life.